read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what equal justice with Judge Eboni K. Williams is all about.
Mindy Lyons claims her neighbor showed up with cookies that were promised for a fundraiser, then took them back. Cassidy Rofer says Miss Lyons insulted her, so the deal was off. Miss Rofer is countersuing for $196.
Ladies, I see I've got Mindy Lyons here as my plaintiff, Cassidy Rofer as my defendant. Miss Lyons, you are suing the defendant for $400, but I do see there's a countersuit from the defendant for $196. Miss Lyons, why are we in court today?
We're in court today because about 5 years ago, I moved into the neighborhood, and she was my next-door neighbor. Upon moving in, she was less than friendly, not welcoming at all. It took a couple years for her to even speak to me. Eventually she did, so the rocky part of our relationship was eventually resolved, and we became friendly or on speaking terms. She got to know my daughter. I have that 13-year-old daughter who has straight A's, and she's amazing. My daughter's very active in her cheer competition, and I am the head mother in charge of the bake sale, the annual bake sale. When we got to be friendly with each other, I came to understand that she was an amazing baker. And she also got to know my daughter, and she knew that my daughter was having a bake sale. So she decided to offer or donate 100 cookies. Okay. Now, when I tell you that these cookies were the hit, they were the biggest hit.
What kind of cookies were they, ma'am?
They were snickerdoodles.
Oh, great.
And so she donated 100 of them, and each cookie sold for $4, which netted a profit of $400.
Yeah, okay.
That $400 went directly toward my daughter's college education. Let's fast forward to this year. I received a text message. I have the evidence for you.
Go ahead and give everything you have, ma'am.
There
Thank
you go.
To my bailiff.
Yes. I received a text message from, I forget the exact date, Your Honor. I believe it was about June 27th, I believe.
Okay.
From Cassidy that said that she was offering again to do the cookies again for the bake sale.
I do see it. Let me just read this to the court. Mindy, I know your daughter's bake sale is coming along. Can I bake for you free of charge? You say, very sweet of you, but no need. Miss Rofer here says, I insist. You say, you sure? She says, absolutely. You can count on me. I'll make my cookies. Okay, so what happened after that?
So what happened after that is that on the day when she was to deliver the cookies, she was running about 30 minutes late. Okay. Now, I'm in charge of the bake sale, and I already had 2 different mothers calling me, like, when are you going to be showing up? And we do it at the gym at the high school. My daughter's a sophomore, and my front door was open. She came up to deliver the cookies and unfortunately overheard me on the phone because I was stressed out, and I said, she's a pinhead, and the best thing that she can do. I didn't mean any harm or any...
Oh, you can stop right there, Ms. Lyons. Now, I want you to go ahead and pick up the story. What exactly did you overhear, ma'am?
Other than being an amazing baker, she is a complete pinhead.
Okay, so what did you think when you heard that?
I mean, I was appalled because as someone who's doing something for a neighbor in a friendly way, I did offer, yes, but I was just so excited at the fact that last year the cookies had done so well.
Okay, so when you insisted on doing these cookies, this is just you from the goodness of your heart wanting to do something kind that would be financially productive for her daughter's college.
Yes.
That was the motivation.
Yes.
Okay. And when you finally delivered these, now are you admitting to the court, ma'am, that you were late per se? You showed up after you said you would with the cookies?
I was running a little late.
How
yes.
late?
I was about, I'd say 20 to 30 minutes late, maybe.
Would you agree 20 to 30 minutes behind schedule she showed up?
Correct, but I was that pushed the time of starting. For me to coordinate with everybody, we were supposed to start the bake sale.
And so you couldn't start the bake sale until her particular cookies were there?
We wanted to start all together as a team.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, continue, Madam Defendant. So you heard yourself being called a pinhead, and then what did you do?
I was heated. I was very upset. I said some things.
What did you say?
I had walked in after I heard that, and I let her know that you're not going to take my cookies. I'm not giving them to you. I put a lot of time and effort into this, and I mean, I spent my own money on the ingredients and didn't ask for anything.
Is that your countersuit amount for $196?
Yes.
Do you have the receipts for that, ma'am?
Yes.
Give everything to my bailiff. Thank you.
I did not ask for anything in return.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Oh, you got it. Thank you. Let me just look at this receipt here. So $166 for how many cookies?
It was 100.
Okay. So the court is satisfied with that amount. And then what did you just say? I'm not going to be disrespected. I'm not going to be used. And then what, you and your cookies ran away?
Well, I took them and I shared some with everybody.
Okay. And how did you feel about that, ma'am?
Well, first of all, Your Honor, she's not being completely honest in disclosing that she was using extreme profanity in the names that she called me in front of my daughter.
What did she call you?
She called me a bitch, and she said that, you know, I was stupid for calling her
a pinhead.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
I would like to say that I apologize to your daughter because I feel bad that she is a terrible mother. And I would have loved to provide the cookies.
And later,
After he moved in, within 1 month of him moving in, and all of a sudden there's a cockroach infestation, would
Well, I did
suggest that
move
maybe
in.
he's the one that's not keeping
Your
his
Honor, may
unit
I
clean.
speak?
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a case of Mindy Lyons, who blames Cassidy Rofer for a cookie deal that crumbled.
She takes the cookies. You're upset at this point.
Well, upset mostly because of the language that she used with me. One word, pinhead.
So
But-
you weren't upset that the cookies weren't going to be a part of the bake
Well, yes, I was upset about that, but I was more upset about that she not only had made the commitment and not followed through for myself, but it was for my daughter.
Well, no, she did follow through. She showed up with 100 freshly baked, delicious cookies. Then she retreated and pulled back on that commitment after she heard what you called her.
Yeah, but we already had a contract and an agreement, and she was...
Where's the contract? I missed the contract. Where's the contract, ma'am? Are you talking about this text message where she said she would voluntarily make these cookies for you?
Yes, and we verbally discussed it as well, and she discussed it with my daughter as well.
Okay, and then that was all before she heard what you called her.
Correct.
Correct.
And then she proceeded to call me other names, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's talk about this exchange that you guys had after
That
the
was
fact.
afterwards.
Okay, so you texted her afterwards.
No, she texted me.
She texted you. Okay. I can't believe you would say that about me. You're horrible, just a terrible person. You should be ashamed of yourself. Screw you. Did you respond to this, ma'am?
I did. It's there, Your Honor.
I'm sorry for what I said, but you committed to helping us, and we were really counting on you. My
Yes.
daughter should not have been affected. Also, what you said in front of my daughter was really hurtful. And she says, yes, I don't care. So do you regret using the profane language, ma'am, in front of her daughter?
Well, as I've grown closer to her daughter, I know that her daughter uses it as well. So
So that's a no, Your Honor?
No.
Okay. I don't know why everybody has such a hard time with
yes
that.
or no.
Yes or no? Just a yes or no. Okay. So you do not regret anything. Is there anything else you would like to say to this defendant before I make a ruling?
yeah, I would.
I mean, to this plaintiff, rather. Go ahead.
I would like to say that I apologize to your daughter because I feel bad that she is a terrible mother, and I
Okay,
would have
wait a
loved
minute
to
now.
provide the cookies.
No. See, give somebody an inch. See what they do? A mile. Okay. Do you have any final words, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
No. Okay.
I'm sorry. No, I don't.
Listen, the court finds that you are quite ridiculous, ma'am. It's too much. There's such a thing as proportionality. Are you familiar with that term and what that means? Tell the court your understanding of the term proportionality.
Everything is done in proportions.
Okay, so we're going to use the word to define it. Okay. Let's try again. Do you want to try again, or shall Elijah help you with this?
Elijah, would you like to help?
I think there's a balance to everything.
That's it. It's that every reaction deserves a reaction that is in ample balance with the initial action. Okay? And this court finds that your reactions have been out of proportion.
So I should give free cookies
Ma'am,
to somebody
this is not a
who-
Q&A, actually. This is me making my ruling, as I've already said. See, that's a perfect example of the type of imbalance that I'm speaking about. So that's a you issue. And I encourage you to address it, look at it, ma'am, because you're still a young woman, and I don't want this to negatively impact you moving forward in life. Now, that said, Ms. Lyons.
Yes, Your Honor.
We know that words have consequences, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you've admitted and apologized for calling her a pinhead, but she did hear you.
Yes.
And the reality is that the only obligation she had to you around these cookies was self-imposed and voluntary. And I agree with you that you guys did have an enforceable contract as it relates to the cookies. Where I disagree with you, though, is that one of the implicit terms, so it didn't have to be spelled out or articulated specifically, an implicit term in a self-initiated, volunteer-based contract says that I'm doing this because I feel good about it. That was the whole, y'all both admitted that in open court, that this whole thing was because she felt good about helping your daughter with her college expenses. And because of your mouth, nobody told you to say anything about this woman's tardiness. And by the way, if you had told me she was an hour and a half late, 2.5 hours late, I might feel a little differently. 20 minutes late, come on, ma'am. That's nominal. That's not a big deal. You admitted to the court that you could have started your bake sale on time because you're so prompt. You chose to wait for the main attraction, these $400 worth of snickerdoodles. That's your choice.
Yes, Your Honor.
By you choosing to do that and get so irate and upset and call this woman a pinhead, she heard it. She has the right, per the contract, to unilaterally withdraw her commitment to you, and that's what she did. So therefore, Ms. Plaintiff, I do apologize. I'm going to have to dismiss your claim of $400. But Madam Defendant, I'm also dismissing your counterclaim. You wanted $196 for cookies that you volunteered to make. No, ma'am, you're literally going to have to eat that. You are both dismissed. That's my ruling.
All rise.
Judge Eboni has ruled. Both cases are dismissed.
It's just unfortunate. Had to come to this.
I'm sorry your daughter lost out on her $400 for college, but I'm no pinhead.
Okay, judge has made a ruling. Please grab your belongings.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
Month after month complaining about infestation of cockroaches.
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 Okay.
This is Equal Justice. Spencer Thornfield claims a tenant brought roaches into the apartment building, then stopped paying rent. Donovan Lockridge says he's not to blame for the infestation and had to stay with friends to escape the bugs.
Mr. Thornfield, you are suing Mr. Lockridge for $5,670. What brings you to court today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here because Donovan, when he first rented my apartment, he did it on a last-minute notice thing where I just had a vacancy, and he wanted to move in the very next day before I had a chance to clean it or do anything. From there on, and then he was month after month complaining about infestation of cockroaches.
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 Okay. So this is a building that you own?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see the lease agreement between yourself and Mr. Lockridge here. You can give your folder of evidence to my bailiff, sir. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's see what we got here. It is for a 6-month lease, right? You've got to pay a security deposit, yada, 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 all pretty basic, and you've both signed it. Okay, so let me get to you, Mr. Lockridge. You went to the plaintiff here and said, I need to go ahead and move in immediately, and you waived any type of inspections or processes like that. Is that correct?
Your Honor, yes, that is correct. I asked him if I could move in earlier, and he said there is a tenant that just moved out recently, and it's going to take me a minute to be able to get someone in there to clean the apartment. I said it was okay. Faster you can get the people in there, I would appreciate it. And he went ahead and accommodated my request.
So before we got to the cockroach of it all, what were the other complaints?
Well, initially, I sent the cleaning crew. Then it was a complaint about that it didn't clean well enough.
Let me confirm. Mr. Lockridge, is it true that you were not satisfied with the cleaning services?
That is not true, Your Honor. It was hideous, and I took care of it myself until one day I came across roaches. They were in a sink. They were underneath the refrigerator, in and out of cabinets.
I don't really play when it comes to roaches. So let me see what we're talking about. I heard that we had some photos that we could see exactly what the roach situation was looking like. Oh my God, no.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
Maybe he's the one that's not keeping
Your
his
Honor,
unit
may I
clean.
speak?
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a dispute between Spencer Thornfield and his ex-tenant Donovan Lockridge over roaches and unpaid rent.
Mr. Thornfield, tell me something, because this looks a hot mess.
Ma'am, all I can tell you is that prior to this, prior to him moving in, even when the other crew, I personally walked through every unit when people move out. And when I walked through their unit, I never saw any cockroaches, any sign of cockroaches.
So are you suggesting that the defendant brought the cockroaches with him?
I could very well suggest that.
So normally when there's cockroaches, they move. Okay, so have you and your neighbors had any discussion around this, sir?
First month that I was there, everything was perfectly fine, you know. Once I discovered those cockroaches, I sent that email out immediately.
So let's talk about it. I do see this email. So the first person you emailed was the landlord,
Yes,
Spencer.
ma'am.
You say, Spencer, I've noticed roaches in my unit. Can you please come inspect the issue? I appreciate you handling this in a timely manner. You say, Donovan, I'll send the exterminator ASAP rather. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. You reach back out. The roach issue has not been solved. I am beyond upset. I'm still seeing them. Can you resolve this issue? I cannot live in an apartment with roaches. I do not blame you there, sir. I have been forced to be staying with my friends. So this, you kind of moved out at some point.
Which is embarrassing, which is why I didn't pay those 2 months of rent that he's
Well,
asking
yeah,
for.
when your rent is almost $3,000 a month, you should not be having to stay with friends.
And this is a luxury apartment.
Sir, I'm not saying I'm ruling yet. I'm just making the argument. Okay, Donovan, I'm sorry to hear the roaches are still there. I will send the exterminators again. I will explain you are still having the issues and they will handle it. So what were the exterminators telling you, sir?
Ma'am, they said what the message that I got from them is they did their job. They sprayed the apartment, and they said it may take a couple of weeks to 2 weeks for it to kill off the entire hive of these pests.
Sure enough, but that doesn't
The way
mean...
it looks to me is that for them to show up in his apartment unit after he moved in, within 1 month of him moving in, and all of a sudden there's a cockroach infestation, would
Well, I did
suggest that
move
maybe
in.
he's the one that's not keeping
Your
his
Honor, may
unit
I
clean.
speak?
Judge Eboni's verdict when equal justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
It sounds like the problem has persisted. I do not believe that this man would be crashing with friends if he had the option to stay in a clean, safe apartment. Do you believe that?
Your Honor, that was a clean, safe apartment when he moved in.
But that's irrelevant, sir, because...
How is that irrelevant?
No. Actually, guess what, sir? You don't decide what is relevant or irrelevant. I do. I am the judge. So this is what I'm going to do. The first month it was cockroach free and you paid.
Yes.
And then every month after, this is a cockroach month, a cockroach month,
baby cockroach,
and a cockroach month. The court rules in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is absolutely dismissed. That is my ruling.
All rise.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
Any final thoughts for each other?
Take care of that roach motel.
Don't bring roaches to people's hotels, or motels, or apartments, or houses.
All right, boss man.
Okay, judge has made a ruling. Please follow me, gentlemen. So,
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.